We're live.
It's basically E3. We're like in it.
It is basically E3. Welcome to the basically E3 episode. Not the
Yep.
official one, but the
Yeah.
basically
Next
one.
week we'll do our usual run down all the news, the actual E3 episode. But this week we're gonna do some predictions, which are exciting.
Yep.
I figured maybe we'll do that like after the news segment because a
Yep.
lot of that way we can kind of cross things off. Like, okay, well I don't need to predict this because we just talked about it.
Yeah, for sure.
John was supposed to be here, but apparently he got insanely sick at the last second.
Yeah.
Um, and we did ask him to send in some predictions for us to read, but he didn't. So hey, if you're listening, John, you still got time. Send in some predictions, and we'll read your predictions on the air.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they don't count.
It's true. Otherwise, they won't happen.
Yeah.
So
Unless he can provide at a later date a video of himself with the current present day newspaper.
Yep.
And his prediction, then I'm not going to believe it. And if he comes at me and says like, "I told you so," I'm not going to believe him.
Yeah, that's how it's done in movies and stuff. So.
Yep. But yeah, before that, what's up with you, man?
Oh, not a whole lot here. It's been raining a bunch recently, and it's been super nice and cool. But other than that, it's just been like crazy hot. Summer.
I was gonna say rain sucks.
Oh, it's cooled everything off here, though, especially because of the fires and stuff going on. It's made it less smoky. It's been nice.
Right. I did see a lot of the smoke for sure. It got real hot down here, which I'm liking quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get up to 31 this weekend. Can't wait to be in an office, not enjoying it.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I'm a little jealous about that, but anyway, it's getting nice and hot here, which I do like.
Yeah, that's cool.
I guess kind of moving on to things the show's about. I went and saw Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Oh my god, I heard that's such a garbage shit show.
I don't think it's that bad.
Oh really?
But
okay.
I do think it's not great. This is basically how I came out of the theater with. I think the average review score was around 40-ish. I think that's about right. Here's my two takeaways. One, the monsters are awesome. When the monsters are fighting, it's real cool. They look great. They sound really good, like big and menacing in the theater. They do a real good job of just being like, oh, these two giant monsters are about to just hit each other so hard, and I am here for it. Yeah. So I love the fights. The fights are cool. Okay. Any scene that involves one of the three family members, the main characters, which I guess are in the last movie, Godzilla from 2014. I just completely forgot about any character in that movie. So the mom, the daughter, and the father, anytime they're on screen, I don't like the scene. And unfortunately, they're the main characters, so they're in 75% of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So right. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But it's weird though, because my girlfriend was asking me well, hey, should I go see it? Should I go to the theaters and see it? And I don't know how to answer this, because part of me says I don't think it's a good enough movie for you to go out to the theater to see it. I think this could easily be wait for it to hit Netflix, or to be a $3 Amazon rental or something.
Totally, yeah.
But the parts I do like, the battles, I think those are excellent in the theater because they're so grandiose and big and noisy, and the sounds they make of when Godzilla's powering up, he sounds like a weird like electric engine revving up and stuff, and the audio and visual of the battles are very cool, and I think that's a great theater experience. But that's only 25% of the movie. So I don't know how to recommend this movie, because I think you will miss out on what the highest highs can be by not going to the theater.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah. It's a weird scenario.
This is a problem with all kaiju movies, really, is that it's kind of like you should, if you care at all, you should go and see it in a theater, because the thing it does well is the thing you want in scale. Because even the thing you go to a Godzilla movie for is the moment where he does a nuclear breath attack, the first time he's seen, and maybe if that's basically it, honestly. And then anything on top of that is gravy, whatever they do with them. So those moments are better in a huge giant theater for sure. The problem is, what do you do with the other 2 hours?
Yeah, it's
I guess you wait.
it's weird. Yeah, exactly. You just wait for the next fight. That's basically what you're there for.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't know. I really like Kong Skull Island, so I want this movie to do well because I want more of that.
sure. Yeah,
And they're in the same universe,
yeah.
and they keep hinting at stuff's going down on Skull Island as well. And they keep like and they've already announced Kong versus Godzilla is happening, and I want that to keep happening. I want to see that. So I'm sure this movie. I hope this movie does well. But yeah, there's my recommendation.
Okay.
I will also. I got another movie I want to talk about real quick.
Sure.
A Netflix movie came out called Always Be My Maybe.
Okay.
This stars Ali Wong, Keanu Reeves, and the Asian guy from Ant-Man and the Wasp, the cop guy. What is his name?
I don't know.
Let me see.
I'm trying to even picture.
I think it's Randall Park. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Which Daniel Day Kim's also in there for a little bit.
Okay.
And as a Lost fan, I'm just always glad when Daniel Day Kim shows up. Always Be My Maybe. So it's on Netflix. I would recommend it. It's a romantic comedy. I think it falls a little too in the cliche sense of some romantic comedies. But there's a lot of really good jokes in there. And Keanu Reeves is only in about a quarter of the movie, but holy shit, does he steal the show? Because he plays himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So everyone's like starstruck around them, but he's not just playing himself. He's playing like the idea that like the meme of himself, like on Twitter.
Yeah.
So he's all just like super like down to earth and like so kind and stuff, but like it's really good. So if even if you're not a romantic comedy fan, but you're a Keanu Reeves fan, I still think you should watch Always Be My Maybe. But anyway, it's pretty good. I recommend it. And again, it's Netflix, so it's free. Again, Ali Wong from Tuca and Birdie.
Yes.
So there's a lot of good star power in here.
Yeah, there's some good names in there actually.
Yeah, so I would recommend that. It's a good time for sure. The Keanu Reeves part, man, I keep thinking back to it and it cracks me up. It is very good.
Cool.
Did I talk about Booksmart on this show?
No. Oh my god. Yeah, we tried to go see it actually last weekend. It's playing in 2 fucking theaters in Calgary. And
oh damn.
And like when we went to the theater, we would have had to wait 3 hours there to just like go see it. So we're like,
did you go see something else?
No, because Detective Pikachu was 4 hours from then too. So it's like,
right.
I guess we're going home.
Right. Okay. Well, why didn't you just go to the theater at the appropriate time?
We were out already.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. Booksmart's awesome. Like out of all the movies I've been talking about, go see Booksmart. That's great. That is super funny.
It looks good. Like I want to see that one so bad.
Yeah, that's movies like that. Love, Simon, Eighth Grade. Teen romantic comedies they're very funny.
Mm-hmm.
They do it for me. So Booksmart, very good. There's my highest recommendation.
Cool.
But yeah, we should start talking about video games because there is so much to talk about. It is ridiculous.
True.
It's June 6th. This is the Top Down Perspective, and I'm Sean Booker.
And I'm Paul Fleck. Let's do this.
Yeah, and once again, John's not here because he's sick. Hopefully he'll be back next week, and we'll talk about the show. Before we get into E3 stuff, let's talk about what we've been playing. Paul, why don't you start us off?
Okay. I started off by checking out a game called Fade to Silence. Do you remember this one at all? I think they showed it as part of a demo reel and maybe a Sony event or something for a moment. It's the one where there's
No, I was going to ask, should I remember this game?
There was a monster in a blizzard, and that was kind of all they showed of it. But basically what this game is, have you ever played a video game? because this has you might have heard of one of the things in this game, like open world, an open world map, like survival elements, like crafting, like base building, like Dark Souls like combat, like it has just everything in it. And
this release trailer was from 2017. Is this an old game?
I don't actually know when it officially came out. Let me just take a look here.
Yeah, initial release date December 14th, 2017.
Sure. So I was playing this, and this game is going to be hard to talk about because I can't recommend it, but I kind of love things it's doing.
This is from the Gianna Sisters people.
Yes, that's right.
That's weird. Oh, also Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and on top of all of this, it's a roguelike. So there's that.
Well, they did make a game called Rogue Stormers, so I would assume they're all about rogues.
Oh, Rogue Stormers. I actually did play that one, believe it or not. I think. Yeah, a buddy of mine and I played this. That was not very good.
I guess it was originally called Diesel Stormers.
Oh, that's even a worse name somehow. No, it's not a worse name. Diesel Stormers is better than Rogue Stormers.
Diesel Stormers is at least a little more unique than Rogue Stormers. Rogue Stormers is one of those, like, you know, we put our hand in a hat of video game terms, and we came out with Rogue Stormers Squadron Elite.
Totally. You know? Agreed. Oh boy, how to talk about this game. Okay, imagine, if you will, a janky Breath of the Wild. All right?
Okay, all right.
Set in a snow apocalypse with eldritch demons as your main enemy instead of bokoblins or whatever. Okay. Now.
Okay, this doesn't sound terrible.
Now, if you die 3 times, you have to start over again.
3 times?
From the beginning, yeah.
Okay.
It has base building elements, so you need to collect wood to build bases, and you need to collect followers to, like, build that stuff for you while you're out doing other stuff at your base. So it has, like, weird mobile time mechanics in it, like, oh, this will be built in like 6 hours because you're building a hut or whatever.
This is making me think of, like, State of Decay.
Sure, think of a janky State of Decay.
I mean, that's just State of Decay.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't want to belabor the point too much. Basically, what the thing that is interesting about this is that it has some really good ideas in it in how a roguelike can be done, especially as like a survival game, a survival RPG or whatever. It's just kind of janky and not quite there enough to make it a fun gameplay loop, but it has the seeds of an idea that, like, the next company that is competent will be able to take some of the good stuff from this, pluck it out, and put it in a game that makes it revolutionary, that stuff. And I think that's interesting. Playing it is kind of annoying because you have to find, like, a grove that isn't, like, doesn't have, like, eldritch goo shit all over it, and then that's where you'll cut down trees and have survivors come and, like, haul away the wood or, like farm there, basically, while you're doing other stuff. And also, I guess one of the things that really, like, I thought was neat is that it has a co-op element to it, too, where if you have a buddy who also has the game on whatever, PS4 or Steam or whatever you're playing it on, they can jump into your game as, like, a co-op partner as one of the survivors that you have to, like, help you do stuff as well. And I thought that was just a neat idea, where it's kind of like you can collect it's a single player game where you collect survivors to help you do the base building stuff. But if your buddy's like, hey, I'm home from work, do you want to play a little bit? They can, like, jump in as, like, one of your dudes and, like, help you play a little bit co-op in the game. And then when they go offline, that NPC will just go back to, like, farming wood or building shit.
I think that's also how State of Decay 2 does it. I should say State of Decay 2, that's the only one I've played, so.
Yeah, I don't remember if 1 did that part specifically, but that's what I liked about State of Decay 2 as well. Obviously, like, I didn't have anybody playing it at the time with me, so I didn't get to like take advantage of it, but I really like using that sort of stuff in it. Um yeah, man, I don't know. This has a lot of like cool ideas in it. It's just not done well or competently that it's hard to recommend.
Okay.
But yeah, that is Fade to Silence. The next game, World War Z had a free patch come out, I think like 2 or 3 days ago. This was a pretty big patch that I've been waiting for. That added the final mission in Tokyo, because Tokyo only had two missions in its chapter, whereas all the other ones had three. So this added the third one. This also added a whole bunch of like cool stuff. This added private lobbies, which was nice because before I couldn't just jump into like a game with my buddy that I play with. We would always have to like create a lobby, and then when you like go ready up or play or whatever, it would find two other people automatically to play with you to jump in. Now you can just like play with your buddy and like AI. This seems like something that should have been there from the beginning, but it wasn't, so now it's there.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what else. They added an FOV slider, which was nice because it just gives you a better like view of everything that's going on in that world. It added a new zombie type that can infect you, and if you don't like cure the infection, you just auto die.
Isn't every zombie infect you? Isn't that the whole point of zombies?
Well, theoretically, yes, but in this game there was nothing that infected you. So it's a new mechanic, a new zombie type that they added that does that specifically. That was weird to get used to.
If the zombies in this game couldn't infect you, how are there zombies?
They just like rip you apart and kill you.
Right, but how did they become zombies?
It's a good question. I have no idea. Probably like chemicals that don't transfer. I'm sure they say in the game. There is a mission where you go to like a laboratory. I just didn't pay attention to what was said like at all in there.
Okay, maybe it's something where it's like if you die, you just become a zombie.
There is that in this game. Like I've been playing mostly co-op. There is another mode in this game I haven't played at all, which is essentially a 4v4 survivors versus survivors with zombies in between to do objectives. And if one of your like team member dies or whatever, you turn into a zombie to like attack your own team or the other team or whatever. So there is that in here.
Why would you attack your own team?
Because you're an asshole, I guess.
Oh, okay.
That's a thing that happens. Yeah, no, that's in here, but it only happens when you die. These will infect you before you die and kill you that way, is like the idea behind that zombie. And it's really weird because that wasn't in it before, and we found ourselves just like, why are we dead? Like, why are we just like shooting dudes and then all of a sudden we die, and then later on we're like, oh, see that, like the UI is not very good for this. It's like, oh, see, like it says push E to disinfect or whatever. It's like, yeah, okay, I guess that's why we've been insta dying for no reason. It also fixed a bunch of stuff with weaponry and whatnot that I won't go into, but it was a pretty big patch. It was like almost 10 gigs. It added quite a bit of stuff, so I'm really stoked that they are supporting that game and that it was free. I'm really happy with that game. Quite like it a lot. And the last thing isn't
that an Epic Store exclusive?
It is, yes.
Okay, fuck that game.
Yeah. It is $10 off though if you want to pick it up because of that sale.
That's great, but fuck everything and fuck that game.
Mm-hmm. Fuck everything and that game.
Yep.
The last game was actually based on our discussions after the Baba Is You. We were talking on TDP Plus about how there's not very many games like Baba Is You, puzzle-wise, like how it does puzzles or whatever, where it has a clear set of rules and it just kind of follows it throughout. And then you guys were like, you should check out The Witness. So I checked out The Witness.
Yeah.
I probably have an unpopular opinion about that, and that's simply, okay, first of all, I understand that the environmental stuff and the puzzles are cool. I really like the puzzles, and I really like how it uses the environment and some of them to find, like, the answers or to like change how you get the answer and whatnot. But
Yep.
I don't want to walk around that. I don't care about that like games levels or like walking around that environment at all. I just want the puzzles because I really like them. I really like those puzzles.
Okay.
And every time I'm like leaving an area because I finished it to go to find a new area with puzzles, I feel bummed out because I just want more puzzles.
Right. I mean, the puzzles will be pretty back to back within an area, but yeah, you do
Yeah.
need to kind of like find your way into a new area and stuff.
So when I stumble into a new area, I'm stoked because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be here for like 3 hours because these puzzles are fucking crazy. But like,
Yeah, they are. They're super difficult.
they are really hard. Like, I thought I was good with spatial awareness stuff until I had to draw lines through things. And then I was like,
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
why?
they start off super easy. Just make this line go to the other side,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, there's so much going on, and they keep piling stuff on there. It's a weird game.
Yeah. It's extraordinarily clever, like how that game is done. And I really like, okay, whatever. I'll specifically talk about a part. When you go into like this lab area with different colored panes of glasses and
That
you
part
have,
is messed up.
and I was stuck. I actually had to look up like why can't like this work? And they're
Sure.
like, did you like look at it this way? I actually found a real cool site that gave me a bunch of hints that I could like
Oh,
click
that's
on
great.
first, and then it
Nice.
gave the answer if I was really stuck. But the hints have been enough to like make me rethink how I'm looking at the puzzle, and then I'm like, oh, there it is.
There's
So,
there's a moment in this game. I don't. I'm not even gonna say it yet. Are you planning to still play more of it?
oh fuck yeah, I absolutely love the puzzles in this thing.
All right. I'll talk to you about it later because I don't want to spoil this moment for you because there's a moment in this game that kind of changes the way that you even think about the game entirely. That
So
is very cool.
I will say I stumbled on one
I don't want to
thing,
spoil it for people.
and I don't know that this is a spoiler, but I started interacting with parts of the actual world I was in like it was a puzzle.
Yeah, that's basically what I was talking about. There's a
Oh, okay.
and that's very cool. I think.
Yeah, like I was on top of a building or something, maybe a tower, and I looked down, and I saw like
Was it
what
like a
looked like
river?
a line. No, it was like a line of rocks or something,
Oh, okay. All right.
maybe. And like I like was clicking around to see something, and like it snapped to it, and I was just like,
That is a cool moment
"Oh, okay,
because then you're just like, I I at first I could see,
yeah,
but I was blind.
yeah, yeah." And then honestly, when that happened, I was like, oh, that's too much to process right now. Let's go back to the normal puzzles. That's too much.
Nope. I'm just gonna nope out of here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jonathan Blow, you got me. Nope.
Um Also, there's like weird audio logs here and there, and I kind of
Yeah.
haven't cared at all about what's being said in those. That's been like background noise while I'm doing puzzles cuz some of them drag on for a while. So, that's just been a
Yeah,
thing.
I don't even remember if they tell like a full story. There's probably some like a website out there that like collects all of them and tells the story that I didn't pick up on.
I'll probably look that
Um,
up after. I'm curious
I
if
don't
it
remember
does.
them being that like integral to
Sure.
the game.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, also that it was free on Epic. That's why I have it. So, but
Yeah, I mean it's been free on PlayStation Plus, Games with Gold. That
I
game's
do have it
on
on PlayStation Plus
phones.
too.
Like it's pretty easy to get at this point.
Yeah, it's really good though. Like I really
cool
like the
game.
puzzles in it, for sure.
Yep.
That's all I've been playing though.
All right, I have been playing a bunch of Void Bastards.
This is on my list to check out. Actually.
Yeah, so this is FTL.
Okay.
If instead of the encounters being this kind of top down click your way and kind of just watch a fight kind of happen,
Yep.
it was a first person shooter.
Okay. Sure.
So you're doing stuff, there's a star map kind of like FTL, and you're picking which planets do you want to go towards? Not planets, I should say. They're different vessels you're going towards. And then you can choose to board the ship or just keep moving on. But sometimes you'll be like running out of food or fuel, and it's like, well, I need to start going in these ships so that I can replenish some of this stuff. But there will be problems with going into the ships. Much or often, it's enemies.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty fun kind of goofy humor. It's kind of Portal-esque in the way of like, it's like a robot talking to you that's cheeky, but it's like an English gentleman robot. And I think it does it a lot better than the numerous kind of like ripoffs that people have been trying to capture Portal's humor for since forever.
Yeah.
This one's doing it pretty well.
Okay.
The conceit is you're like a prisoner or some kind of slave prisoner, but you've been dehydrated down to basically just like a packet of sand or something. So every time, it's also a roguelike. So every time you die, they just grab a new packet, pour it in the ship, pour some water in there, and the new person comes back up.
Okay.
And much like Rogue Legacy, each person will have different characteristics. Right down to some will be colorblind, and then the game is black and white.
Oh, okay.
Which is very Rogue Legacy like.
Yeah, totally.
I should also say the whole thing is presented as a comic book. So there'll be like all the cutscenes are like motion comics, and this goes further. So when you're doing the first-person shooter aspect of it, all the enemies, they kind of move like they're missing most of their frames of animation. So they kind of look like old Duke Nukem or Doom characters where they only like modeled kind of like the front and the side and stuff like that.
Okay.
So they'll move like this, even though they are polygonal for the most part. But that just kind of adds to like the comic book style of it because they're kind of moving in these like janky ways.
Yeah.
And different ships will have different properties going on. Some will have like the lights turned out. Some will have like all the security's off because there'll be like enemy turrets in there that'll fight you and stuff like that. The enemies are pretty interesting. One of them is just called a tourist. All the enemies, by the way, everything is British.
Sure.
So they'll just be like swearing at you. The juvies will just be swearing at you in like British slang. They're always just like, "Oi, wanker!" and then they're like shooting at you and stuff. One of the tourists or one of the enemies is called a tourist, which is this weird blobby thing that when you shoot it, it just explodes, or if you get near it, it explodes. And they're always weird. There's scribes who are like these like weird like, are you the room service? And they have the voice acting is pretty funny and pretty good. And there'll be different properties. Like sometimes you'll enter a ship, and one of the three enemies in here will be an ally. And so when you come across those types of the enemies, they will help fight with you, but you won't know which ones until you come across them and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Right.
And it's also very vague about how many enemies are in the ship. It'll say like, here's the types of enemies that are in here, and then it'll say some or few underneath them. If there's a lot, it'll say there's a shed load of them.
A shed load.
A shed load. That's just that's
good.
The parts you carry over onto each run are the items that you've collected either through like storyline items or your upgrades. So as so the whole point is you're going to a ship, you're basically scavenging the ship, and then you're getting out of there. You don't only have so much time in the ship because you have an oxygen that's depleting, and there are rifts in the ship that spawn new enemies. So you can't just like clear out the ship and then feel safe. You kind of always need to be moving. There isn't a way to replenish your oxygen, but it's only free for the first time, and then you have to start spending money to do it. So you can't spend forever on the ship. But you want to go through the ship, you want to collect everything you can, and you have unlimited inventory. So you're grabbing like fingers and pens and springs, stuff like these weird like resources, but you're also grabbing like actual component parts that you can use to build upgrades for your guns, upgrades for your grenades, stuff like this. The game also really smartly puts in a like kind of tracking system where you can say, hey, I really want to find what I need to upgrade this specific thing. And then when you look at the star map, it'll say, hey, this ship will have that. What you maybe head towards that one. So that's really nice because you can kind of basically make a run like, I rolled a really kind of shitty character I'm just going to make this run all about upgrading this thing, and then my next run will be even better. But what's nice is you in no way are you ever not progressing. There's never a scenario of like, crap, I need to make sure I'm going into enough ships so that I'm upgrading enough. There's no like experience. Your character's not getting better because everything progresses for you. So you can kind of just brute force your way through this game. Like eventually you will have collected so much that you'll be powerful enough,
Right.
and have enough health and stuff that things will become easier for you. But storyline items, those will even move over as well. So you're always making progress, and there's no real way to get stuck because everything carries over, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good. Really love the humor. Extremely love the look of it. This is Void Bastards. It just came out. It's on Game Pass, so can't recommend it enough. But yeah, I would highly recommend checking out Void Bastards.
Yeah.
These are ex BioShock devs.
Right.
So keep that in mind. I also played a little bit of a game called Descenders.
Yeah,
which is
this is a cool game actually. I like.
Really, I wasn't really into it. So this is a bicycle game.
Yeah, it's a downhill like racing roguelike, basically.
If that you're right. That is what it is. So you go on these runs of like kind of like a star map in Void Bastards. You're picking which, I don't know, course you want to go to next as you make your way to the boss run.
Yeah.
Which, from what I understand, just seems to be a big jump.
Yeah.
You only have so many times you can.
That's for me. Anyway.
Yeah. There's definitely a skate element.
Yeah.
To how you're controlling the bike, because you can steer with the left stick, but the right stick is leaning, so you can like swerve and stuff as well. Like there's a nuance to it that I wasn't fully getting. I made it to about the third world, I guess. Before I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of done with this. I just didn't feel like putting all the time in to get any good at it. There's weird online features, like there's always another 3 people in your mission, but they're like never around you because they're doing their own thing. Like I don't even really know why they're there. You can't touch them. Like chill. It just like it adds. Yeah. I guess yeah. I don't like. We're all just kind of racing down, but we're not actually racing each other. They're just there, I guess, just to like fill the environment. I don't know. It's weird.
Yes. Yeah.
It was on Game Pass. I just kind of came across it. I actually thought it was a different bike game that I'd played in the past, and I was like, oh, maybe I actually have access to it now.
Oh,
I don't remember what that game
Triple X.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. I loaded this one up, and I was like, there's no titties in this.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the name of the bike one I was talking about, but Descenders is a thing, and it's weird. And I guess if you have Game Pass, check it out. But didn't really do it to me. I'm not going to play any more of it.
Sure.
What I am going to play more of is Outer Wilds.
Okay.
Which also, I think it came out like the same day Void Bastards did. This is Game Pass again, so
that sounds about right.
Hey, Game Pass is awesome. I don't know if I've said that before. Outer Wilds is an adventure game where you play an alien species, and okay, let me take a step back. Every 2 minutes, every 22 minutes in this galaxy, in this solar system, I should say, in this solar system, the sun explodes, killing everybody.
Sure. That's normal.
For whatever reason, anytime you die, you start back again 22 minutes before the explosion. Nobody knows it happens except you, because you, you know, air quotes, live through it. And you'll come to again, and you can talk to people and be like, I think I just died. And they'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about, but you sound crazy.
Okay.
But the conceit is you just graduated from like astronaut camp or whatever, and you're going to go out into space. And you can get into your ship and fly out there. But again, it's an adventure game. There's a mystery going on.
Yeah.
Where you're tracking down, like, you know, why are these things happening? There was some kind of precursor race that made these like telepathic statues. And you can kind of just go anywhere you want. There's definitely like a Breath of the Wild aspect to it of like, just go out and explore. And it'll set up some breadcrumb trails for you, but you can also just go wherever you want. You just have 22 minutes. And anything that carries over will be like the knowledge you've uncovered. So if you kind of finish up with a certain planet, you don't need to go back there. But but you can explore different parts of it and stuff like that. And the planets are cool. There's one that's just like totally water, and there's like tornadoes in the water everywhere, and there's just these islands, and the islands will even get picked up by the tornadoes. So you'll be walking around on an island, and then all of a sudden your island's flung into space a bit, so you lose gravity, and then it falls back down onto the water. It's a weird game. It's daunting, I'll say that for sure. I played a bit and I definitely felt overwhelmed. I had to kind of look up one of those like, here's what you need to know before playing Outer Wilds kind of guides to kind of just get more of a sense. Like I said, the openness is intimidating a bit, and especially with that timer. The timer's not super evident, but when you come across it the first time, it's like, oh crap, this is I can't just take this slow and do stuff. I need to actually pick up the pace. But
it's kind of like a Majora's Mask.
There's a Majora's Mask element to it. Yeah, for sure.
That feeling.
But on like a faster scale, I would say.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's cool. This is Outer Wilds, so if you're into like adventure games, weird kind of space stuff, you might be into it. You can kind of just take your ship and fly right off a planet, No Man's Sky style, and that's always cool to do.
Yep, that is cool. I like that.
Yeah, so that's what I've been playing.
Neat.
Let's do some news.
Some news.
Yeah. All right. Like I said at the top of the show, we're going to do news first, then we'll do some predictions. But a whole bunch of things in relation to E3 have either already happened Google Stadia happened this morning.
Yeah.
Or tons of stuff has been leaked already.
Yep.
So we're just going to start talking about some leaks. I know they haven't been like confirmed. Most of these leaks have either been confirmed or they've been like, yeah, no, I was talking to that developer and that's what I know as well. So
yeah.
Jason Schreier coming through with all the news. But this is probably going to be kind of reverse chronological as usual. Tom Holland is going to be Nathan Drake.
Sure.
In the Uncharted movie that is coming December 20th, 2020. 2020.
Sure. That makes sense to me. That's fine.
Makes me think, I guess it's going to be a much younger Nathan Drake than we're used to. I don't remember how young or how old Nathan Drake is in the first game. But like the fourth game, isn't he like 40?
Yeah, he's probably like late 20s, right? In the first game. That's a good point.
Probably. Tom Holland is early 20s, I believe.
Yeah.
But I guess, if they get a younger actor, they can, have a more, I don't know, buzzworthy, appealing actor for longer.
Yeah, no, it makes sense to me, honestly.
Yeah, it's a good fit personality-wise, for sure, I think. Yep. The only thing I could really think of was he just seems young from what I think of when I think of Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
I think of like, I literally think of like Indiana Jones.
Sure. That's very true. It might be kind of refreshing to have like an Indiana Jones like character that starts off young and we can see get older. Because Indiana Jones was a little older.
Almost like a young Indiana Jones?
Yeah, but not in that. That was no good. I didn't like young Indiana Jones. Except for when River Phoenix played him in like a flashback in Last Crusade. He was a good fit.
I don't remember that at all, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I will say, who's Sully? That guy better still be old.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't want Sully just to be like, he's a bit older and a buddy. I want Sully to be like a wise old man who's too old for this shit, but of course he's going to help you, and he wants in on just one more job. Let's do it.
It should be Bruce Campbell, honestly.
Bruce Campbell?
Hell yeah. Although that guy's old. Very old.
I think there needs to be a little bit more gray going on. But all right, interesting. Okay. What else we got? Naughty Dog has announced they are stopping the servers for Uncharted 2, 3, and The Last of Us, so no more multiplayer.
Okay.
I had forgot these games had multiplayer.
I remember playing the multiplayer in Uncharted 2 for a little bit and being like, this is cool. I never touched it again.
I did play it like one evening with Nathan. We tried it
Yeah,
out just to see like what this is. Wasn't it kind of like a horde mode, but you had like objectives to do?
I think so. Yeah, I don't remember it very well. I remember it just
And I
being a
don't think I
shooter.
ever played The Last of Us
Hmm.
multiplayer.
I actually didn't know that had multiplayer at all.
Yeah, I
So,
did see some people saying that they actually enjoyed The Last of Us multiplayer when this news broke.
hmm.
So there you go. Who knows?
Yeah.
This is happening on September 3rd. So if you want to get it multiplayer in on those games, hurry up. You have the rest of the summer.
Okay. Fair.
The Borderlands DLC. I think I briefly mentioned this on an episode a couple weeks back that it was a rumor this is happening. This is true. Borderlands 2 is getting new free DLC.
Yeah.
Called Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary. This will bridge Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3. Right now, you can get Borderlands 2 as part of the Handsome Collection for free on PlayStation Plus. I think I also kept seeing it's 97% off on Steam.
Oh God.
So it sounds like they just really want you to like play this DLC.
Yeah.
It'll also basically just give you a character that's already at level 30, so you can jump into the DLC and do that, which I might. I don't know. My Borderlands 2 character is stuck on the 360, where they will remain in my closet forever.
Yeah.
So
apparently this DLC raises the level cap to level 80, and you can start characters at level 30, so you can actually just like skip all the intro garbage if you're new, or coming back, I guess. That's cool. I like that.
I think personally, I'm just gonna wait for 3 to come out.
Yeah, I feel like I'm obligated to play this because I love Lilith. I like the I like the sirens. I like their thing.
I usually play the siren as well.
Yeah.
Was Lilith in 2? Wasn't it a different siren?
It was Maya in 2.
Okay.
Lilith was like, I mean, she made the city disappear. That was cool.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When Handsome Jack's like attacking, she like made them all disappear.
I don't think I could tell you a single thing that happened storyline wise in Borderlands.
I remember everything about the sirens specifically. I just thought that was such a cool idea in that world and stuff. So I feel like
I know that you're a vault hunter.
Yeah, and there's guns.
And there's guns.
Yep, there's lots of them.
And I could not tell you anything that happens in that story.
I feel like
I can tell you the end of Tales from the Borderlands, but because that was only like 2 years ago. But that's it.
Okay, I might play this. We'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
Cool. All right. Here's one of the announcements that's only been kind of like, yeah, this is what I've heard. So this is Jason Schreier over Kotaku. Sources have told him that Blizzard canceled a StarCraft first-person shooter to focus on the next Diablo and the next Overwatch.
This is StarCraft Ghost all over again.
Yeah, basically, right?
Fuck.
Those are some pretty big names putting out things like they're dropping bombs like Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2.
They had to do something with Diablo 4. They pissed off that fan base so much they had to. Overwatch 2 came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, I was not expecting. Because they're supporting Overwatch so much. I figured it was just that's what it's going to be, like a platform at this point.
Me too.
In the same way of like there's never going to be a Fortnite 2. It's just going to be Fortnite.
Or even like a League of Legends 2. I was going to say a Dota 2. There is a Dota 2. But yeah.
We're hearing words that Overwatch 2 might be have more of a PvE element as opposed to the PvP. So it might be more of like an offshoot. I don't know. There's a lot of like nothing's quite tangible with this news. It just seems pretty likely. Stoked. I've been looking for a reason to get back into Overwatch. I feel like I'm just so far removed from it at this point that jumping in, I would just not even know what to do.
Blizzard people have compared it to Left 4 Dead. That's interesting.
That is interesting. And they have done stuff like that in Overwatch already.
And that's some of my favorite stuff in Overwatch when they do those weird little one-offs.
Yeah, it would definitely be cool if they come out with Overwatch 2, but keep supporting the first Overwatch.
Yeah.
And now have 2 platforms.
Agreed. I agree.
I can't think of anything that's done that really, but that would be very interesting.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird because I saw this thing about Blizzard's canceling a game or whatever that will never see the light of day, and I thought to myself, why? Like, why at this time would Blizzard do that? It's like, because to focus their stuff on Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. It's like, oh, right. They have to show something for Diablo that's good. And Overwatch 2? What? Did I read that?
Right. To be fair, Blizzard cancels stuff all the time. Like, they only put out, like, the crispest of the most polished stuff. So I feel like they got their process down.
It just seemed weird that this close announcing that they're canceling something, considering they've been kind of on the shit list after last year's BlizzCon. But it makes sense.
I don't know if we're going to see much during E3.
I bet
they're probably saving it all for BlizzCon.
Totally. I agree.
You know, they got their own thing.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
All right, the big news. So the one press conference we can talk about early, because it already happened, was the Stadia one this morning. Did you watch this?
I did.
This was about 25 minutes long. It all got leaked beforehand.
Yeah.
But Google came out. They gave us price. They gave us date. They gave us some of the features. Let's just kind of run down it. From like a spec standpoint, Google Stadia, they're saying to get like the best, you need 35 megabytes down, and that'll get you 4K HDR, 60 frames per second, and 5.1 surround.
Yeah.
Which 35 is low. That's a low number.
No, that's very high for most people.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe for you, from what I deal with, I usually get it like at least 70.
You live like near San Francisco, one of the biggest tech hubs of the fucking world.
That's true. I live pretty close to Google. They live near San Francisco.
Yeah. That being said, I don't even have a 4K TV yet. This won't affect a lot of people. 35 megabits. Their minimum of 10 for 720p is a little better for most people, I would say. So their recommended minimum, I should say.
That also seems insane that you're going to get that kind of quality at 10 megabits a second.
I need to see it. I don't feel like it's gonna work.
Right, it's too good to be true. I feel like at this point, if you did it like a cup and a string and put the other cup just on the Google building, you'd get 10 megabytes a second. Like, that is nothing.
Yeah.
And then they have around 20 megabits. That's how you get 1080. Again, for 10 megabits, you get 720. You get 60 frames a second in stereo. So there is a drop down there, but it's not much.
Yeah.
Yep. They came out. They started off showing some games, which the first trailer they showed was Baldur's Gate 3.
When I saw that, I was like, "Wait, Larian? Wait, they're announcing it here?" It's like, what? All right. That trailer didn't really show anything except for a dude turning into an illithid,
like a really gross dude getting his skeleton morphed,
and then illithid dude just kind of like floating down a sieged castle or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
After that, they showed, what was the next game they showed? Was it Overpacked?
No, the next one they showed was Breakpoint is coming.
Right. Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
After that was a game called Guilt. It was a horror-looking
which
game.
Kind of reminded me of like Little Nightmares.
Yeah. A little scarier, though. It looked kind of creepy. I'm into it.
Guilt spelled G-Y-L-T.
G-Y-L-T. I think the site's like Guilt the Game or something like that, so if people want to check that out, it's kind of neat looking.
Then it was the packing game, right?
Then it was Get Packed, which I didn't care about at all. I don't care about
I thought it was like, hey, this looks like an Overcooked. Like, let's do it. Online couch co-op silliness.
Maybe.
So I'll try that out for sure.
And then the last two games that they kind of showed off was The Division 2 is going to be coming to it, and apparently that's going to be good for it, so that's interesting.
I mean, Ubisoft's always full force on a new console, because we already know Assassin's Creed Odyssey will be there.
Yep. And then Destiny 2 was there. It's just like...
Right. They said
Okay.
they said the entirety of Destiny 2.
The entirety. Yep.
Now what was really interesting is there was also a Destiny 2 announcement
Yeah.
there, and that was the Destiny 2, and this was also already leaked.
Yeah.
This was actually leaked in kind of in weird orders. So it got leaked that cross saves were coming.
Yeah.
Which is very cool, but it was confirmed that it was like the only cross saves that are coming are PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
No PlayStation 4. But on stage, they said cross saves are coming to Destiny 2 for every platform.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. That is very cool.
Apparently, the Bungie dudes worked it out with Sony like at the last minute.
So, yesterday. Apparently, Bungie had a last minute meeting with Sony again yesterday to try one more time to change their mind. Yeah. And they did it. And I'm assuming what they did is when it leaked and everyone was like, way to go, Sony, screwing this up again.
Yep.
I bet they came and said, look at this Twitter timeline.
Yeah.
We told you. We told you.
And we haven't even announced it yet.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. And they're probably like, oh, damn it, they're right.
Yeah.
Along with that, no exclusivity deals anymore, which I'm assuming Sony's not happy about because they had the exclusivity deal. So I'm curious how kind of that went down.
Oh, I'm sure they weren't happy about that.
There was even kind of a funny part during the trailer because there was some talking heads from the studio during the trailer. It was cutting back and forth where they were like, we're our own publisher now. Did you know that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, which pretty funny. That was cool. They got to put that in there.
That exclusivity deal probably was null and void because that was probably with Activision, right? Now that that makes sense.
I'm assuming it was with the game, and I'm assuming it definitely tied in to the studio making it, which would have been Bungie. So I don't know. Like people who get paid a lot more, no.
I would really like to know, man, if I could like talk to a publisher without like any fear of them like being guarded, I would just love to know more about their part of the industry. That would be great.
Sure. Okay, actually, weird. This is totally off the side, hypothetical. Would you rather be a fly on the wall of that business meeting where they finally broke ties, or would you love a deep dive, like a nice long article or whatever on what happened to make The Quiet Man?
Holy shit. I don't,
because I would give quite a bit of money to learn about how The Quiet Man became what it was, like what it went through and how that made it out the door. Like I would subscribe to a Patreon that is doing video game documentaries.
Yeah.
Like I want to know about that so goddamn much.
Yeah. This is our way of announcing TD Plus Extra, our new Patreon, where we do that.
Yep, there you go.
There we go.
Let's talk about price. Let's talk about release date stuff. It is coming sometime November. There's going to be 2 tiers. There's Pro, and then there's going to be a base one, which they didn't talk too much about because that's not coming until 2020.
So it sounds like the Stadia base one is basically going to be like a storefront, just essentially where you buy the game and then you have access to it.
And then you have access to it when you're online because they need to stream it to you. Yes, it sounds like it'll just be a storefront.
Yeah.
Pro it'll be the only way you can do it. It'll also be a game subscription service.
Yeah, $9.99 a month.
Yeah. So for the first, few months, you're only going to get access to the subscription one if you want access to their games.
Yeah.
Which means I'm assuming for the first few months you can't just buy a game outright because there's no reason you would. You're getting it with your subscription.
Mm-hmm. I'd assume so, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there's also a founders pack, which I pre-ordered.
Oh, really? I don't care about this fucking thing at all.
I care about it. I'm so curious, and I just had to know it for myself. And then, and then they were like, "Hey, exclusive color," and I was like, "Oh, you got me."
I will say, out of all of it, I really like that there's a wasabi color. First of all, I really like that.
I think it's silly that they called it wasabi because we were looking at it beforehand. And I was like, they were like, which of these colors do you like? And they had a white one, which is the one everyone's seen. And I was like, well, I don't have a ton of white controllers. That is kind of like the picture on the box. There's the black one. And I'm like, I got a lot of black controllers.
Yeah.
Then there was the wasabi one, which we just kept calling mint.
Yeah, it's mint. It 100% is mint.
And someone said, and they call it wasabi, which I thought that was a weird name. I was like, I'd probably get that one because I don't have any controllers that look like that.
I actually like that shade quite a bit until I saw the like limited edition one. I was like, oh, that's actually a nice color.
Yeah. So
all right.
The limited edition one is a dark blue.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, now I want that. And it reminded me of when the Xbox One was coming out, and if you pre-ordered it, you got the day one 2013 written on the controller, which I have. And I like that I have, even though it's an inferior controller in several ways. I like that I have that. And I feel like a bit of an idiot for pre-ordering this, but at the end of the day, the price is $130.
130. So
I think it's a good deal. I think what you're getting for 130.
I disagree for myself. For myself, obviously. Let's run down what we have in it though. Chromecast Ultra, which is
$70 on its own.
Right. I don't have 4K. This is useless to me.
Just saying, like, if you were wanting a Chromecast Ultra, those are $70 by themselves.
Sure. So already for me, that's most of the like value gone. That I don't care about that because I have 2 normal Chromecasts that I would probably just use anyway. I really do like the controller. The controller itself, I was saying, is probably 60 to 80, depending on like.
It's 70. Yeah.
It is 70. Okay.
Yep. Because they say you can get an additional controller if you want for $69. Nice.
Yeah. The thing I do like is the 3 months of Stadia Pro. Obviously, they have to throw that in there because it's their fucking service. And
which is $30.
I do like the buddy pass thing. That makes sense to me to like.
Yeah, you do get a pass to give anyone you want 3 months of Pro as well, so you can play some games. That's cool. They definitely did not have to do that.
That makes sense to me that they would do that.
So at that point, that's $60. So let's just count it out. That's 70, 140. We're at $200 worth of content right now.
Mm-hmm. And then complete Destiny 2. And it's just like, well, I have that, so that's not a value for me.
Right. It's Destiny. Well, it's Destiny 2. It's all of their expansions and their season pass content, as well as and later on in the press conference, they announced the next one, Shadowfall. I think that's the name of it. So you're getting that as well. So that's a lot of Destiny.
It's quite a bit of Destiny.
And now with cross saves, I could just have my character while playing it on the Stadia.
On the Stadia, yeah.
Which that's a big key thing for me. The cross save is happening because for the longest time I was like, man, I kind of wish I had played on Xbox because that's where my friend is. I could have done a lot more co-op, but I don't want to start over. And then when the Stadia thing happened, I was like, well, maybe I'll just get a new character and play the stuff I hadn't played. But now it doesn't. I don't have to worry about it. I just bring my character over and I play the stuff I didn't purchase before, like the season pass or Shadowfall.
This is kind of the way it should be for like all games like this. Like the fact that Dauntless, I have a character and I can play it on anything. Like that should just be the way that goes from now on. So that makes sense that Destiny's doing it. For me, I would just get the 3 months of Stadia and then get whatever dongle or whatever I need to make my controller work. So
right. I mean, to be fair, you can get access to this stuff by downloading Chrome on your computer.
Yeah.
And then taking your Xbox or PlayStation controller that have Bluetooth in them, syncing it to your computer, you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're already done. So theoretically, the buy-in process is just you drop $10 for that first month, you get access to these games.
I definitely
now the big caveat and the downside here,
at least,
there's no exclusives so far that we know of, which is kind of a bummer. And I think that's the biggest kind of knock that I have when I think about me pre-ordering it is that's cool that I get access to like, Destiny right off the bat and stuff I haven't played. But I could right now just drop like $15, get the season pass and play some of that content I haven't played already. Like I could do that literally right now on a 4K TV with a PlayStation Pro. Like I have that.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect to it. The reason I pre-ordered it is I want to be a part of it. I'm so curious. I want to experience. I want to be a part of it while people are talking about it.
Yeah.
And if it ends up failing, then I'm going to have a funny controller underneath my desk that I'm going to look back to and be like, remember this thing?
Yeah, it's a nice color.
and
I really like the color of it.
it's a nice color.
So
Yep. But there is something really cool about just like if this platform does work, maybe I'm going home for Christmas.
yeah,
I just load up like anyone's laptop there, and I can
yeah,
pick up where I was left off. That's cool.
yeah. Like if you're a pretty mobile person at all, this is like I keep saying it's game changing. It is. Like it
And it is.
actually
No,
is.
it totally is. It is
Yeah.
100%. Like this is crazy. But I think the big knock I was also seeing is like, why would you want to buy your game for Stadia? You don't get access to it offline. You can't play it offline. It's going to be really interesting to see what Microsoft says with their Project X Cloud, because they
Yeah.
also have Game Pass already, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm
Hmm.
real curious.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a world where I'm going to buy a game through Stadia. Like this it seems like it's their subscription service, right? Like that's a reason to do this for sure.
I mean, it depends. Depends what kind of games are going in there. If they're not putting out games constantly to warrant that $10 a month, then
Yeah,
maybe
then
I am just going to buy
yeah.
the one game every now and then. Like if
Yeah.
I'm only buying one game a year from them, like if I look at my PlayStation, I only buy a few games for my PlayStation because I buy all my third party stuff for my Xbox. So I don't
Mhm.
need a like a game subscription one for the PlayStation necessarily.
Would you choose Stadia over your Xbox though? If you're just going to buy a one-off game?
I mean, probably not,
Yeah. That's kind of the
because
problem.
that's the thing. Yeah, like the thing of it is, I know my Xbox will run it perfectly, and I
Sure.
have put the money into getting an X to getting a 4K TV, so that it will run wonderfully. I don't need to worry like if my internet dips in any way,
Sure.
is it going to be a lesser experience? But hey, I'm assuming Stadia is going to try and get some exclusives, and then maybe it just kind of turns into another one on my consoles where
Yeah.
I play those exclusives there, and it is kind of cool. It's more for the novelty. I really like the idea of if I go somewhere, I can just like pick up and play. Like if I'm at my girlfriend's house and my consoles aren't there, you know what? I'm just gonna jump in and play whatever I got here.
Yeah. How does
So
this change being at school as a kid? Because you hear teachers getting mad that kids are playing Fortnite all the time. What if they're just like playing anything?
anything, yeah, that'll be interesting. I have no idea. I know this will be really cool for like college kids that like couldn't bring a console to their dorms. Like
Totally.
they definitely have a laptop. So that's cool. They did mention kind of what device it's coming to. They just said TVs. They said, Chrome browser. They said tablets, and then the Google Pixel 3,
Yeah.
which was odd. They were super vague about which tablets, and then they were hyper specific about the only phone that will do it.
Right. Because they
So,
probably built
which
hardware around it too, since there's an app for it.
I guess, I mean, this has to come to Apple products. Those are the biggest
I'm sure it will. Yeah.
market. So who knows with that stuff? I'm curious. There's still a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
This might, I can always cancel my pre-order if things kind of just start seeming pretty lame, or if
Sure.
Project X Cloud seems like this is definitely the better way to go. Honestly, I pre-ordered it immediately because I was like, I don't want to miss out on the chance.
Sure.
I can always go back.
I mean, and whatever. Like, people know what they're getting into when they are getting something called a founder's pack. So, like, that's generally.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So.
I'm definitely buying in as the first run. Who knows if this will even work? We'll see.
Yeah.
I guess kind of continuing with the Destiny stuff. Another big announcement that they made is that Destiny is going to go free to play. There's going to be a free to play version of it.
Yeah.
Called Destiny 2 New Light. I'm basically just kind of reading this breakdown on Reddit. Basically, it says once Shadowkeep launches on September 17th, the base game will go free to play and include all year one content, including foundational modes, activities, and rewards.
Yeah.
This represents a change for Destiny franchise as it seeks to lure gamers away from popular free titles like Fortnite. Previously, players paid upfront for the game and bought big expansions to gain access to new raids, missions, and in-game items, either separately or as an annual Pass subscription. Now the core game will stay free while additional content will be made available in the form of paid a la carte offerings like Shadowkeep.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they're still going to be doing expansions. You're still going to have to buy these content. I'm assuming they're going to kind of expand on these and try and make them more battle pass like.
Probably.
That's just where the industry is with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But base Destiny 2 will be free to play, which it already almost was. That game is routinely $5.
Yeah.
GameStop online, and they gave it away on PlayStation Plus randomly like last year.
Yeah.
Like that game might as well already be free.
Last year it was part of a humble monthly bundle, the like $10 or $20 or whatever a month thing where you just get like a bunch of games. So like it's kind of been free in some respects for a bit now.
Yep.
This makes sense.
They also say no more content will be made exclusive to one platform over the others. So all platforms will have access to the same content at the same time.
Yeah, good.
And the game will be moving from Battle.net to Steam on PC.
Sure.
And existing players will be able to migrate all of their characters and purchases over to the Steam version once that happens.
Yep. These are all the right things to say. So
pretty crazy. I wonder if Activision was holding this back.
Probably. This is so fucking weird because like if you had told me when this game came out it was going to go free to play, I would have been like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I wouldn't have expected only 2 years after it came out though. It's pretty
you would have, and especially while it's doing so well, you would have thought like, oh, there's their last ditch effort. Like,
yeah,
Anthem should be going free to play because it's on its last legs. Like that's usually how these works. Is
not free to play.
Yeah, like MMOs are typically like, no, we can't do the subscription anymore. It's not working, so we'll go make it free to play, and hopefully that'll revive it. Destiny's doing fantastic. It's arguably in the best spot it's ever been in.
Forsaken was very good.
Yeah, Forsaken's very good. I hear people are really enjoying the current season pass content that's out right now.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, some cool things happening with Destiny.
It's just a fun game to jump in and play. So,
yeah, I agree for sure. Speaking of games that start with a D, Darksiders randomly dropped a trailer this morning of a new Diablo-style spin-off coming out.
Yeah.
This is coming from publisher THQ Nordic, which you might know as that company that did an AMA on 8chan.
That's unfortunately how I know them. Yep, now.
Yep. Which I mentioned because I don't think people should forget that.
No, people should absolutely not. That's their new defining trait.
Yep. It's called Darksiders Genesis, and it's basically like we've only got about a minute of gameplay. Actually, the gameplay portion was even less. The trailer was about a minute. It's a Diablo-style co-op looking Darksiders kind of game.
What?
Not much else to say.
Yeah, it looks fun.
This is no release date, but it's coming to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, and Google Stadia.
Yeah. I really like this type of game. It's unfortunate that new Warhammer game, Chaos Bane, is apparently not very good. But I'll probably check this out because I'm a sucker for them.
Isn't Path of Exile a Diablo-style game?
Yeah, that's free to play and it's
free?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Free-to-play games are kind of awesome nowadays, man.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Xbox has announced Body Wash.
Great.
Probably the biggest news of the week.
Yeah.
The copy for this Body Wash is Lift Your Game, which I don't know what that means, but it says it on all the bottles.
Okay.
Looks like they got some shampoo in there as well. This is only coming to New Zealand and Australia.
Oh,
which I don't know. I'm not sure why. A representative responded saying that at this stage, there's no plans to offer the product in the US. However, we certainly would love to.
Okay.
I don't know why they did this.
Xbox Lynx. Lynx is a name of Axe Market. Okay, this makes sense now. This is an Axe thing in those places. All right. Sure.
Let me see if I can try. Fresh scent of pulsing green citrus, whatever that means, features top notes of kaffir lime and winter lemon, which I don't know what either of those are.
All
What is a
right.
winter lemon?
A winter lemon. I don't know.
There's notes of mint and sage, and woody bottom notes, clear wood.
Man, I don't know about this.
Yeah, they're doing Xbox deodorant, body spray, and shower gel bottles. They'll feature a bright green color palette.
I can tell you just looking at this is going to be the type of thing that has a very strong smell, but very little actual, like, cleaning stuff in it to make it seem like you smell good,
Oh,
but it
like it's
won't actually.
covering up a smell as opposed to like
It,
cleaning off the smell.
especially if it's done by, like, an Axe company, because that's kind of what Axe does. Guys, don't buy Axe. Buy soap. For the love of God. Jesus. I the reason I bring this up is I roomed with a random guy at PAX like years ago, because I went into the Penny Arcade PAX like need a room, have a room thread, because I like didn't have a room. It was a last minute thing I was going to,
Sure.
and one of the guys there just never fucking took a shower, and he said it's because he was sponsored by Axe and just had all this Axe and used only that, and he smelled like fucking garbage every day.
Right. I mean, to be fair, that might not be because of the Axe. It's probably because he wasn't taking a shower. You can take a shower and put Axe on, and you'll probably smell fine.
Nah, I think he would have smelled better if he didn't use the Axe and not showered.
There's no
Fuck.
way that's true. There's no way that's true. I'm curious why this isn't coming out in America. Uh, would you try this?
No, because
No,
I'd have to buy it. There's no way
no.
I'm.
You got a free bottle. Would you
Oh,
shower with it?
I would try it once. Yeah.
Okay.
I have.
I bet it's actually fine. I bet it's whatever kind of soap they already had that they just slapped Xbox on the front, and they're gonna settle it with a case of Mountain Dew.
On a more like personal problem I have, a lot like shampoos and like soaps and stuff that have like a lot of perfumey essence usually like leave my skin stingy a little bit, and like
Oh,
has
okay.
like a film feeling on it in some parts, and I think this is one of those. I don't want like that.
What about shampoos with a woody bottom note?
I don't know what that means. Is that the
Yeah, I have no idea.
is that the brown note that everybody keeps talking about?
I probably
They found it and put it in a bottle.
Stay away from this, I guess. I don't know. I would try it. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sure it's probably just generic soap.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's happening. WWDC, which is an Apple convention, happened last week. The information that we're interested with is that iOS devices, including phones, tablets, as well as tvOS, is going to be getting Xbox One and PlayStation 4 controller support this fall.
That's very cool. I like
Which
it.
is pretty cool. Yeah, especially since that PlayStation Link app just came out. So on a local network, you can play your PlayStation games on your phone. You can now use an actual controller.
Very cool.
I'm not quite sure what the use case of this would be. I guess if you can't use your TV for whatever reason.
I guess.
I don't know. But that's a thing you could do if you wanted. A couple things happened with the Genesis Mini. We got the last set of the games.
Okay.
Which I'm trying to find the full list here.
I have it if you need.
Okay, I do have the full list. I don't remember which ones are new.
So the last 12 specifically are Darius, Road Rash 2, Strider, Virtua Fighter 2, Elysia Dragoon, Columns, Dynamite Heady, Kid Chameleon, Monster World 4, Light Crusader, Eternal Champions, but the real banger here is Tetris.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I just got the list. Are you gonna get one?
It's getting a little more tempting. There's just a lot of stuff on there, but again, and I know this is like probably not the thing to say, but I have files of all of these games at my fingertips right now that I could play if I cared. So,
right. I think what we need to know is does it run well? Because the PlayStation had one, it had a pretty good lineup and it ran like shit.
Yep, very
and now
true.
it's discounted. I probably won't get one just because if I wanted to play these games, I probably would have bought like the anniversary collection on whatever console, and I didn't.
I mean, there's also that a lot of these games have been released as Sega classics and whatnot on fucking everything at some point.
Yep.
So,
But I mean, everyone keeps buying Super Mario Bros.
yeah, including me.
It is also
So,
worth knowing the Japan Sega Mega Drive Mini will be getting a carrying case and a Sega CD 32X add-on that's purely cosmetic and non-functional, which I think is very funny.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Um, I
That's
think that
pretty
would
good.
just be silly. Like I got this bonus thing to put on top of it. It
Yep.
does literally nothing.
Yep.
But to be fair, my Super Nintendo Classic kind of does nothing because I don't really plug it in.
Okay. Fair enough. That's kind of the also the other thing. It's like, if I was to get this one, like, why would I? If I was to get one of these, why would it be this one all of a sudden? I would probably want the Super Nintendo Classic out of all of the ones released so far first.
Right.
So,
I mean, maybe you own a museum of which you need to have one of each.
true.
So that could be a reason why you want to buy one.
Yeah, true.
Watch Dogs Legion was announced. And by announced, I mean leaked. And then they just came out and tweeted about it.
Mm-hmm.
Which this is obviously Watch Dogs 3. It's being set in the UK. You can somehow play as any NPC, which I don't really know what that means, but any NPC you can just take control of. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. I am looking forward to seeing more at E3 about this. Hopefully.
It says, play as anyone. Every individual you meet in the open world has a full set of animations, voiceover, character traits, and visuals that are generated and guided by gameplay systems. Well, I don't. Are you like taking over people's body? Are you like a ghost?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too.
Is this Driver San Francisco?
I mean, it is the ultimate hacking, right? Taking over somebody's body.
Yeah, hack a person.
Yeah.
They've come out and said, it's going to be a post-Brexit world.
Oh no.
Which a lot of people are saying, like, I would like to see how Ubisoft comes out and says this game is not political at this point.
Oh, the Watchdog games have always been, come on.
So I guess we'll see.
A post-Brexit world. Oh my god, that's funny. I never played Watch Dogs 2, but I will say I really liked the first one when I played it years ago. So this is maybe interesting.
Yeah, I haven't played either of them, and I kind of want to, but there's no way I'm going to get through those two before this comes out.
Yeah, of course.
And it has also been confirmed that Clint Hawking, the lead developer for Far Cry 2, will be working on Watch Dogs 3.
That guy's actually insane, so this might be amazing.
So, if people know Far Cry 2, that is a very strange game with a lot of weird mechanics, so this could be a very interesting game coming out.
If the name Clint Hawking doesn't mean anything really to you when we say it, look up some like documentaries. I'm sure there's YouTube videos now, but when I read it, it was a like article of some sort. Look up that name and like try to find like a development of Far Cry 2 thing. That dude is weird. That's a crazy dude, so that's exciting.
Dragon Quest Walk was announced, which is a Pokemon Go style game, but it's Dragon Quest.
That makes
I actually think this looks kind of cool, since you'll level up your characters and stuff. I think the coolest part of it is the logo. It says Dragon Quest Walk, and there's just a straight up like Converse shoe in that logo, and then a slime. I just really like that logo a lot.
That logo is really good. Also, this makes sense. Dragon Quest is huge in Japan, so.
Yep. It's only been announced for Japan at the moment, but I do like the idea of having a party and leveling them up and like.
Yep.
It's for an RPG. It's probably going to be gacha style, which I kind of wish it wasn't. Hopefully, I can just kind of play it like an RPG because I think that would still work.
Yep.
But this is interesting.
Yeah, this is cool.
I just realized on my list of news, I don't have any of the Pokemon stuff, so we should talk about all that because a whole bunch of Pokemon stuff happened recently.
Sure.
Specifically, there was 2 different events. The first one chronologically was like an investors meeting
Okay.
about some like kind of offshoot stuff happening,
Okay.
such as Pokemon Sleep,
Oh, okay. I
a
didn't see
a
any of this stuff.
a Pokemon sleep tracking game.
Okay.
I'm not looking up an article, but if you are, feel free to chime in with more specific news. A Pokemon sleep tracking game where you put some kind of device next to you in bed, and you somehow it gamifies your sleep into a Pokemon.
Okay. Hmm.
They also announced some new mobile games like Pokemon Masters or something coming. I don't know. The one people were talking about was Pokemon Sleep because that's weird. And
That
I
is.
don't need a sleep tracker for with Pokemon.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm trying to look up if there's anything like specific about it. This is kind of like there's not a whole lot to say about it, I guess. You kind of connect to your phone via Bluetooth, send your sleep data through the night. It's basically Pokemon Go. Blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah, no, you've kind of hit it. So, there you go.
And then the bigger news would be the I don't know if it's a Nintendo Direct exactly, but there was a Pokemon stream
Yeah.
a couple days ago early in the morning where they talked a whole bunch about Pokemon Sword and Shield. They showed off more Pokemon. The Pokemon get big. They get
Yeah.
super huge, and you get a big, super big Pokemon, and then it fights another big Pokemon. Um, I'm trying to think. Some takeaways I thought were cool is there are co-op raid battles.
Yeah, the raid thing, I was just like, oh, they put raids in this. This is hilarious. That I
Right. I mean,
guess.
they had
Yeah.
raids in Pokemon Go,
Right. That makes
but at least
sense.
this time it'll be more like I'm actually playing Pokemon as opposed to just tapping on the thing until we win.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I do like that, like putting some co-op stuff into Pokemon. That's cool.
That's neat. Yep. I
There
don't
was a
care at all about
cool.
this.
Oh, really?
After watching that, I'm like, you know what? I guess I'm done with Pokemon. I don't care about any of this.
Oh,
So
okay. I'm gonna play it. I play each of the Pokemon games.
yeah, the last one I cared about was Pokemon X, and I did play that, but I haven't played one since, and haven't looked intriguing to me at all.
Okay. I'm excited to plug it in and have a full-on Pokemon experience on the TV that is not Pokemon Let's Go. I have no
Yeah,
interest in that still.
sure.
um. Anyway, if you want to get really technical about all the new stuff and all the new Pokemon, you can look up that stream. There's a sheep Pokemon called Wooloo, which is fun to say.
There is, yeah, and a flower of some sort. Oh, also the doggos, the legendaries.
The legendaries, yeah, it's like a wolf with a sword in its mouth, and then a wolf with a shield as part of its head.
Seems like a bad place to have a shield. It's part of your head, but okay,
Yeah,
it makes
I
sense, I guess.
saw a pretty funny tweet. The comparison was a dog holding a stick,
Yeah,
like a big long stick,
yeah,
and then a dog with a one of those like cones of shame,
yeah. It's true.
so that it doesn't like lick itself.
Yeah. Oh my
I
god.
think the one that stole the show was that bird one, that
Yeah.
Corviknight. I think of that one. That looks cool. And it's
I agree.
I guess it's some kind of fast travel system in the game,
Yeah.
which I don't know why you need that because you usually get a Pokemon that knows fly.
Yeah, when they were saying like this is like a flying blah blah blah, I'm like, oh, this is the one that like is just gonna teach fly do or whatever. It's like, no, it's a fast travel. Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, I don't know why you need that, but okay, sure.
What do you think about like they made a big deal of this, of course, because it's new to the thing, but camera control in the overworld. That's kind
Good,
of
sure.
it's kind of
Yeah.
like yeah, games have been doing this, but then I'm thinking about it's like that's like kind of a big game changer for Pokemon though.
Yeah. No, for
So
sure. I am totally good with Pokemon catching up.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it, and it's been a while because, like I said, I skipped that last one, so
yeah.
looking forward to it. Um,
Wait, what the hell
and
is this?
yeah, so Cuphead is soon going to be playable in Tesla vehicles. Teslas have those big screens
Uh huh.
in their like dashboard in a console,
Yeah.
and until now they've had a whole bunch of like I don't know, Turbo Graphics games, like some really small arcade games, But now Cuphead is coming to that. So if you plug in a USB controller, you can just play Cuphead on your Tesla. Apparently, it's only going to be the first island.
Okay.
Because there's like a limit to how much space the games can take up,
Okay.
which is quite small. So it's only a chunk of Cuphead, but I still thought it was weird.
Yeah.
Cuphead is coming to this new and unique gaming platform.
Yeah. I could see me playing this like in a parking lot, getting real upset about Dynabunch, and then road raging on the way.
I guess the real use case is you're at like one of the supercharge stations. You got to sit there for half an hour for your car to top up. Might as well play some Cuphead.
Yeah. But I mean, you'll be lucky if you get past the tutorial, so maybe one day.
All right, this next news story I don't care about, but the internet seemed pretty into it.
Okay.
SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated Edition was announced by THQ Nordic. You may know them as the company that did an AMA on 8chan.
That's how I know them.
Yeah. I never played this game, but people seem like they really hold it dear and they're remastering it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have any fondness for this game?
No.
They are adding a horde mode, which I like the idea of a SpongeBob game getting a horde mode. I think that's a funny sentence to say.
I don't like the idea of a company that did an AMA on a place known for child pornography putting out a childlike game.
I agree with that. And our last news story that was sent in is Barkley 2.
Yeah.
Is the full name Shut Up and Jam Gaiden?
Yes.
Or did I make that up?
No, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Okay. The follow-up to like Michael Jordan in the Windy City? Is that what it was?
I think so.
I wish John was here.
Yeah, this is his thing.
This is a John thing. Less. Okay, it was canceled.
After like,
so I'm sorry
getting a lot of money, right? Is kind of like also the story. Wasn't this on Kickstarter?
Yeah, this tweet does mention a Kickstarter.
Yeah, sorry guys, this is a John thing because I kind of don't care about this at all, and I don't know.
This is definitely a John thing. But so if I don't know, if you're following this thing, it's done. You can move on with your life. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, you haven't heard of us. Why the game isn't dead yet? When was this published? June 2nd. Oh my god, this is too much to read while doing the show.
Hey, John just signed in and said it was Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden 1. Okay, so
we
Jam
did it.
Gaiden 2 is canceled. All right, that's going to do it for news. We should do some predictions a bit because we've already been running long, but let's get some predictions down.
Okay.
And John, if you're still listening and you want to shoot us some predictions, we'll read them. Otherwise, they don't count, like we said. All right. Do you have any sweeping predictions? What you think might get shown? Realistically, not just what you want. What could you see getting shown? I guess kind of the big stuff is like we don't know a ton about what Microsoft's going to do, and they're obviously going to come out hard.
I am the most excited for Microsoft this year than I've ever been. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to take a softball. They're going to show the next Star Wars thing for EA.
They're going to, like Jedi Fallen Order, the Respawn game?
Yeah, they're going to show like...
It's already going to be at EA's showcase. That's actually the first game on Saturday.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay, I'm letting you know that. So that's the first game EA's going to be showing.
We did it.
But it could also show up at the Xbox conference. That's true.
I'm going to write it down anyway.
Okay.
Because your insider information has no hold on me.
That's fine. I don't have any insider information. This is all public knowledge.
Everybody should tweet
I guess I
Sean
should just say
insider information, by the way.
I guess I should just say I have no insider information. And if I did, there's no way I would be telling about it on this show. John wrote some stuff. He says Xbox, those 3 Gears games, new Forza, Cyberpunk, Banjo 3, Star Wars Solo. I don't know what Star Wars Solo is. Unless he's talking about the Respawn game and he got the name wrong.
Maybe he means Han Solo.
Like a different game.
Yeah.
Banjo 3 is interesting. There's been like some tidbits getting dropped. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Oh, he's just doing them all at once.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to start reading all John's before we lose it in the chat.
Yep.
For Nintendo, Fire Emblem. Okay, I mean, of course they're going to talk about Fire Emblem.
Of course.
We just mentioned 3. They already said yes, they're going to talk about that. Metroid Prime Trilogy, maybe. I don't know about that one. Who knows? Bayonetta 3 and a new Smash character.
Okay.
I think those are all likely.
I'm going to piggyback on the Bayonetta 3 because I want it, and I think it might
Nintendo
happen.
came out and they said they're going to talk about Luigi's Mansion 3, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and I can't remember what the third game was. It wasn't Animal Crossing.
Oh, right. I want to see that Avengers thing.
Avengers Project? Yeah, so Square Enix is...
Yeah.
They straight up said tune in to E3, so that's definitely going to be getting shown, the Avengers Project.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We also know from Square Enix they're going to be showing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I'm going to go one up on the Avengers and say releases this year.
Oh, I think that's true. Yeah. There was even some leaks about what that game is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do you think we get a release date on Final Fantasy VII Remake Episode 1?
Ooh. Yeah, I do. I think this.
All right, John he was talking about Jedi Fallen Order, and he says for the new Smash character, if it's first party, it's a new Fire Emblem character. I hope not. If it's third party, it's Banjo. And then they start talking about the Xbox connectivity, which I'm assuming he means Xbox Live on Switch, which I'm curious if that's going to come up. Yeah, that might happen. We know Nintendo is working on most likely several Switch successors, kind of like new version 2s. But one of them got pushed back, right? The more powerful one. So do you think they show the handheld only one?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I want to say they do.
Do you think we get a release date for Final Fantasy VII? What did you say? Yes or no?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I bet they do. It's been so long, and they came out with that pre-one. They got to be feeling a bit confident, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
How much of the game do you think is Episode 1? All of Disc 1? Just Midgar?
I hope just Midgar.
So how many episodes do you want?
I don't know, but Midgar is a giant part of that game, just in general.
Why would you hope for less? Would you want more?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I hope like the whole... Because if it's on like discs or something, because I'm sure they're still going to do that, it's probably not... Like, I would want disc 1 to just be Midgar. And really flesh it out.
I have literally no idea. I also did not play enough of Final Fantasy VII to think of great breakpoints. Okay, here's a wild one. I don't know where this would even show up. John says they already said it. Part 1 is all of Disc 1. I don't think they have already said that. That would have been news to me. I think John might be mistaken. Because I keep seeing other people speculating on what Part 1 could be. And I feel like if this was public knowledge, they would have known. But maybe we're mistaken. Okay, totally left field. Do we find out what Ken Levine has been working on?
You think so?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
but
I don't
remember
either.
when Irrational got just kind of stripped of like everyone but a small amount, and it's just Ken Levine and a small skeleton crew?
I don't think we find that out either, honestly.
But that would be real interesting.
It would be interesting. I'm not going to put it as a prediction, though.
How about Kingdom Hearts 3 on Switch?
Oh, all right.
I think that's a pretty likely one.
Okay.
I think that's pretty likely. I think the other Nintendo game was Link's Awakening.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, what else is there?
We know Cadence of Hyrule is coming June 20th.
Yeah, I'm
excited.
And
Mario Maker is also June 20th?
That was like 22nd or 8th or something. But yeah, that week, I think. I
Yeah,
think you're
that's
right.
gonna be a great end of the month for Nintendo fans.
Yeah, because that's also Bloodstained as well. He's in there.
Um, all right, Bloodstained. I don't think Bloodstained shows up anywhere.
For E3? Yeah, probably not.
Um,
Well,
all right, what do you?
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I, I don't think I personally don't think it's gonna show up anywhere. Like on a conference is what I'm saying.
Oh, on a conference? Yeah, probably not.
Okay, we haven't talked about Bethesda's conference or Ubisoft's conference.
Oh, man. I'm interested to see what Bethesda does after kind of whiffing it so hard.
Yeah, they got to talk about Fallout 76, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that for myself for sure. Fallout.
I mean, Todd Howard's probably gonna come out and he's probably gonna like, Todd Howard it up and be like, Fallout 76, am I right? That bag, am I right, guys? Whew. That was not pretty. That's
They
how I think
have
it's gonna go down.
they have to. They have to
Yeah.
at least mention that they know somehow.
So in that vein, they're probably gonna talk about what's next for Fallout 76.
Uh okay, yeah. I think I
Do you
agree with you.
think first off, do you think they change it up? And how do you think they change it up? Whether it's free to play, whole new expansion coming.
I
They,
I
what
think it
what
goes
could that
free to play, honestly.
free to play? Yeah,
I think
maybe I
so.
could see that. They do have Elder Scrolls Online, so they're not, or they are used to free to play.
Actually, that was one of my predictions. Is they're gonna show the next Elder Scrolls Online thing because that's the easy softball lob they do every year.
Sure, yep. Um, is Wolfenstein them?
Yes.
So they got to show the one with the twins some more of that, right?
When does that come out? I actually forgot all about it.
I
The
don't remember. I think it's
Young
this
Blood,
year. Youngblood, the co-op one with the two daughters.
July 26th. So yeah, I think that'll get some talk. Okay.
I say they have a trailer for that. It's far enough off.
Yep, I think I agree with you.
I don't think they do Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield.
You know what? I'm gonna put for myself. They show something about Starfield. I think they'll show something
Well, Starfield is further off than Elder Scrolls 6, so you think they'll do Starfield before 6?
over ESO 6. Hmm. I don't think
Because I mean,
they'll.
if they were going to show something from one of them, it would probably be 6, right?
I would think so. I don't think they're gonna show anything from 6 though. So yeah.
I don't think they're going to show either. I feel like them mentioning it last year was literally just so that people would shut up.
Actually, I'm gonna put show something. Elder Scrolls 6.
Do you think they talk about blades at all?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what
Like
they say
an
though.
event that's going to happen or something like that, I guess? And do you think
I
there's a
guess
new
so.
mobile game?
No, I don't think there's a new mobile game.
Okay, yeah, I don't think so either. I think they would focus on blades for a while.
I'll put new event for Blades.
Obviously, Doom Eternal will be there. We've seen a lot of that. It's coming to Stadia, so they'll definitely have a bunch of Doom Eternal stuff.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about Ubisoft for a bit, and I think that'll wrap up some predictions.
Yeah. Okay. Splinter
They'll
Cell.
obviously show Breakpoint,
Splinter Cell. Let's go.
Splinter Cell. They'll announce Splinter Cell. Do you think Splinter Cell shows up on the Xbox stage?
Sorry, I'm writing Splinter Cell. Let's go, boys. Right beside it for the prediction. Yeah.
Because like Assassin's Creed has shown up on those other stages before, but they're not going to have that this year. But then I guess I could say because Watch Dogs is kind of taking that spot. So would Watch Dogs show up on like a Microsoft conference?
I think Watch Dogs would. I'm trying to think of like the player bases. I think most people that like care about Splinter Cell are Xbox, then probably PC, then probably PlayStation in that order. So yeah, I could see it being Splinter Cell being announced on the Microsoft stage first.
Yeah,
I
I
could
can
see
see
that.
that. I can't remember if Ubisoft comes before Microsoft at the moment, but just in terms of if it's going to be there or not.
All that insider information. TDP Plus backer reward.
um, a new Just Dance, they'll show that, of course.
Okay, yep.
Um,
I agree.
I can't really think. I'm trying to think of more of their cutesy stuff. I don't think they do a new Mario and Rabbids yet.
Yeah,
I could see them maybe announcing that next year.
Yep. I agree with you. I don't think they do either.
EA also came out randomly and said that Need for Speed is coming out this year and won't be at E3, which sounds odd to me. You would think the racing game would be ready to go, at least to show some of it.
Yeah, that is
I
odd.
guess John already mentioned this. Forza, you think they already talk about Forza Motorsport 8?
Yeah.
Or do you think they save that for the launch next year and take a year off of Forza?
No, I think they do another Forza.
So that would mean that they're launching their console, if it's coming next year,
Yeah.
with a Horizon.
Hmm. Do you think Horizon's bigger than the actual series at this point?
I don't.
You don't?
Even though
Okay.
I like it a lot more, I don't think it is.
I always hear people say that they like it a lot more, and I agree, but it just seems weird to me that, yeah, because like people like FIFA and people like that are into that scene are really into that scene.
I guess while we're talking about Xbox, in terms of the new console, how much do you think they talk about it?
I think they show it.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm
You don't
thinking
think
it's
so?
going to be like they did last time, where they said our next console is Project Scorpio, and they show like a
Okay.
silhouetted box as in like a 30-second trailer, and it's like, and we will be talking about it next year. And then
Okay.
next year they talked about it and released it that year. I think it's going to be that again.
So I'll put for you tease new console. For me, I'll put show new console.
Okay. All right. Obviously, yeah, Ubisoft will have Breakpoint. We
Yeah.
said Black. We said Splinter Cell. We said Watch Dogs.
Oh, do you think next Division 2 like raid and stuff are announced?
I think that would be too soon.
Too soon?
I bet they have a short thing of like, here's the next
A
Siege
roadmap?
stuff coming,
Ooh, Siege stuff, yep. I'm not even
and
gonna
For
write that.
Honor.
That's obviously probably gonna
Yeah,
happen.
and they'll have like a trailer for the next For Honor character or whatever, or season that's coming.
Yeah, I don't think this is worth writing down. We know that's gonna happen, so.
Uh, okay, let's do a little bit on Nintendo. We didn't talk too much about Nintendo specifically.
Yeah.
What Smash character are they putting in? Pick one.
Pick one.
One that you really think could happen.
So here's the thing. I want to jump on John's train about Banjo 3. So
Okay.
you know what? I'm gonna write that for me as well. Banjo
So
3.
you think Banjo will be in there?
And I think Banjo will be the new character.
I think, and this kind of goes with Kingdom Hearts 3 on Switch, Sora.
Yeah, okay. I could see that too, honestly.
Yep.
So, Sora, new Smash character.
And then, of course, they show the new Professor Layton and Ace Attorney game, and then I get extremely excited. But that only happens in the Dream version of E3.
I'm gonna put it for you anyway.
Okay. All right. Any
'Cause if
other
you're
last
right,
ones?
that'll be great.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. Honestly, the reason I like the E3 time is I like being surprised. Oh, here's
Yep.
something.
Oh, for sure.
Here's something I want to put down. Resident Evil 8 is shown. RE3 make teased.
So what? Where at the Xbox conference?
Probably Sony, I would assume.
There's no press conference for Sony. They're not there.
Right. Yeah, that's right. I
So it
don't
would have to be
know.
the Xbox one, and it's not going to be
Probably.
the Nintendo one.
Yeah, probably. No, not Nintendo for sure. I do think they have to show Resident Evil in some sort, especially after Resident Evil 2 Remake did so well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think 4 just came out on Switch.
4, 0, and 1. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll just ask you, do you want to do questions? We're running super long.
Um, I'm okay with it if you are. You're the one that goes to bed early. I'm not tired, so
I think I would like to push them.
sure, we can push them.
So sorry, guys. There was so much news to get through, and next week there'll be even more news, and hopefully John will be back.
And frankly, we probably won't get to questions next week either.
Yeah, probably not. So they'll probably get pushed for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm good with that.
but okay. So with that, what's your game of the week?
Probably The Witness.
Nice. I'm gonna give it to Void Bastards.
Yeah.
One little bit of housekeeping is some community members in our Discord channel have started discussing the 500th episode of this podcast, which is a ways off. It's not until like early next year. But they started to take it upon themselves to do something with it. I believe they're like collecting highlights from the entire run. I just wanted to kind of say that, like, hey, thumbs up to you guys. That sounds very cool. You have our blessing. And if we can help out, we probably will. But for right now, we want to stay hands off and just kind of see what you guys are taking with it. If this does sound interesting to you, though, I highly recommend jump onto our Discord and kind of get in the conversation with that, because I know the people who are doing it are asking for volunteers to help out with this. But if you have ideas and stuff, go chat with them. This is kind of like a whole community run thing. So we're staying hands off, but we love the initiative and the idea. So if this is interesting to you, go check out our Discord. Again, you have until, I think it's like until January is when the 500th episode actually does happen. But maybe because we're starting, or you guys are starting so far in advance, something really cool could actually come out of this. So
sure. Yeah. Just for like your own personal reference, this is episode like 467. Just if you're keeping track at home. So yeah, it's off a bit.
Right, still. It is. Yep. 467. All right, and so yeah, that'll do it for this week. Again, we'll be here next week running through all the stuff that was talked about in the press conferences, like we always do.
That's it.
E3
in the
show.
Chat. I saw the discussions going on. I'm like, I have one highlight, and I can't remember what it was. It was John being involved with some game system or something, and then first highlight comes to mind. John, tell me what the virtual box is, or what virtual box is, because somebody sent in a question about his involvement with virtual box or something. He was gone for like 2 weeks, and then he came back and he's like, what are you talking about? And we lost our fucking minds.
I do remember that. Okay, like I was saying, E3 show next week, so start coming up with questions, and we'll probably talk about it the following week. But yeah, that's pretty exciting, and hopefully John will be back to discuss them with us. But anyways, for this week, that'll be it. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you then.
Bye.